RPOs over the years have been a science, and that might be putting it lightly, because there have always been ways to manipulate the read defender versus the pass defender and be able to swap icons. Players might think they have lockdown RPO defense, but we're going to be breaking down a pass key read key swap glitch that exists in the normal flex snug as well as double stack formations in Madden 25. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, get out your pen and pad, and let's get after it. Now, here's the thing that we're going to be talking about today. This normal flex snug is similarly aligned to a double stack. You guys can look for RPOs that are of the read nature in these types of formations. This means that alert style RPOs do not actually work with this concept. If you guys have a double stack read, whether it's an inside zone or a GT screen like the one I've got here in the Seattle Seahawks offense, we're going to take the field here against one of the more meta defenses in the game, which is the 1-4 or the 3-2, basically the loop blitz dollar style defense. Now, with these defenses, what a lot of players will do is they will play basically on a base line, or they'll just make sure that their slot defenders kind of hang out in between the offensive line and the stack receivers. And a lot of times they will go ahead and just run the blitz. And from an offensive point of view, you see that there are R and P icons. For those that don't know what these mean, I'll go through it quickly. R icon is a run defender. It's the read key. With this particular play, if your opponent is playing option running back, this gives you the ability to pull the ball with the quarterback and run around like a standard read option might work. This is actually a great play, these read style RPOs, because it turns into a triple option. You give the ball up the middle of the running back, pull and run with your quarterback, or you have the ability to potentially throw the ball out to the perimeter. And this is based on whether or not the P icon plays his pass assignment. In other words, in this example, we've got this hard flat defender that is the P icon. If I were to go and throw this ball out there, you see that he does a good job of making this play. And some players might even set their zone drops when they suspect a RPO to be coming to 0 for those flat zones. So that way they really get down aggressive underneath and oftentimes pick off the ball, like you saw in the intro with Plaxico Burress firing out there. So what do we do when our opponent is in this formation if we really want to throw the ball out to the perimeter? That is where the PR icon swap glitch comes into play. With these double stack or normal flex snug plays, you actually will want to audible into them, but you'll have to search your playbook for the formations that allow you to swap the R and the P icon. Now, if you guys are in the Seattle Seahawks offense, you guys are in luck, because my favorite offensive formation in the game, the bunch tight end, which you can find my entire offense on gridirongameplans.gg. Make sure you guys take advantage of our Madden 26, College Football 26, and combo offer pre-sales for both of those games upcoming. You guys can unlock the entire year's worth of content for one payment up front. And this year, we're going to be hosting our lab sessions on the website. That is an additional hour of content on top of our vaults and all the game plans and the members only Discord access. You guys will be able to, there's honestly going to be so much content. You guys are not going to be able to watch it all. Make sure that you guys take advantage of our pre-sale offer. So in that last example, we couldn't throw the ball out to the flat because the flat defender was out there. Well, check this out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come out of the bunch tight end and I'm going to audible into this normal flex snug with this RPO read GT screen. And I'm in this cover 4 hard flat defense that just shut down that type of play. However, when I pull up my icons, notice how the R and the P icons have now flip-flopped. What this does is this allows us to run the ball even if they are playing the running back. So, you know, if I hit option running back, the problem is the R icon is too far away, which allows us to then hand the ball off to our guy and follow our blocks if the run is the right call against the front. That's one benefit. But the other benefit of this is that you're literally going to be able to throw the ball into the flat no matter what, because one of the things that is so tough about RPO defense in this game is you never want your flat defender to be an R icon player. Even if you were to go so far as to pass commit by hitting right bumper up on the right analog stick, because this player is the R icon, this is going to make it so he bites inside. Now I can throw the ball out to the outside and we scamper upfield. And this is going to allow us to steal first downs on 3rd or 4th and short. This is going to allow us to potentially have bigger yardage. I'm going to show you guys how to make this even a little bit more toxic here with this example before I show you a completely different playbook where you can employ this concept. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my vanguard tight ends, and I'm going to sub him in here in this example. And then what we're going to do is we are going to audible into this play. Again, checking the icons. The R icon is that guy. Now we've got Ted Hendricks on the outside. Our design for this is for him to hopefully get a vanguard block where he knocks a guy over. And that's exactly what you saw right there. Although he put up a decent fight, he was still plowed through on that play. So that is a great way to be able to kind of amplify the effects of this play. Another thing that I want to remind you about with this is that this is counterable. So for those of you that are typing up a flurry of comments, which let me hear about it in the comment section. Is this something that you knew about? Is this something that you struggle with and didn't know it? Have your guys been getting glitched out all year and you just really weren't aware of it? Let me know. Also, let me know what other content you're struggling with. Is there an offensive tip or a defensive tip that would complete your game? Let me know. I'm always looking for ideas for future content, especially late in the Madden season. So make sure that you guys drop something below. I am going to show you guys the counter for this here, so just hang with me. Now what I want to do is I want to go back and choose a different playbook where this exact same glitch, if you will, is possible. So wait just a minute. So the next playbook we're going to talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I want to give a good shout out to my buddy Swolosimo. Swolosimo runs the bunch tight end, or at least he was running the bunch tight end in the bunch spread nasty with this particular concept as well out of the Buccaneers playbook. This is one of the best audible around playbooks in the game. So it's something that if you guys don't just like running bunch tight end, this is actually a really, really good playbook. It has the RPO read Y flat. It's got the double pass, which a lot of people get toxic with. This playbook is really quite good. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into this playbook and we're going to target the double stack formation. And with the double stack, you want to make sure that you have the read screen, not the alert screen. You can have both in your audibles if you want, but you want the read screen in your audible set. Now, again, we're going to come out in the bunch tight end. Unfortunately, this bunch tight end doesn't have the off tackle, which is part of the reason I don't run this playbook. It also doesn't have my version of PA Verts, which is another deal breaker for me, but it does have whips. And then we're going to come out here in the dollar or the 1-4, 2-3, any of these dollar type formations in general. And what we're going to do is we are going to audible into the double stack. So you're going to see right here, we're going to go down to RPO read flanker screen. And you take a look and you saw that those icons switched as I audibled into it. Now, no matter what the defense is in, you're going to see that that guy's going to bite inside. We can throw this ball out to the perimeter a little bit more easily. Again, that flinch means a completion as opposed to a pick six. So even if they're playing, you know, a hard flat and that guy doesn't bite in something crazy, you're still going to be just fine with this. And the truth is that little flinch animation where he still kind of tackled him was out of a curl flat. Nobody really plays those. Pretty much everybody plays a hard flat cover 4 in this game. And you're going to see that again, this particular audible trick is going to take that R icon, put it on the flat defender, and now that's going to end up being somebody that's going to fight inside or just at least kind of freeze. And now we're out to this outside again, just stealing a first down. A lot of players are going to play a hard flat something or other on a 3rd or 4th and short. This is a way where you're going to be able to just kind of make it really, really uncomfortable for them. Now, I did promise you guys that I was going to counter this. So I want to take you through what to do when your opponent is doing this, because you're going to notice that they're going to audible into the double stack. That should be your first kind of tell that they're manipulating something. When this occurs, you see the P icon is the outside linebacker. This is important because what you're going to see here is that this is a player that you need to make sure is in your hard flat. This guy cannot serve you in this regard. So if you want to bring him in and just kind of rush him off the edge, that's totally fine. Now, when we run this, you see that this guy, the hard flat, bites out to the flat. He can stop it. So when they're swapping your icons, just make sure that you put your defensive end into the hard flat. He's not actually part of the run fit in this particular play anymore. In fact, he's the player that will listen to your pass key assignment. So if you say play a flat, that's what he'll do. He won't chase the run. Now, again, your opponent might kind of pick up on that and run the ball up the middle. But if your opponent is just anticipating a blind throw to the flat, this is a great way to deal with it. Just take your defensive end and put him into a flat assignment. So that way you can have him attack, hit the guy in the backfield for a TFL, and you're in good spot. So this is how you guys deal with this. Again, if your opponent is audibling into some sort of stack RPO, no matter what you do, your guy that's in the pass assignment, or at least what you perceive to be the pass assignment, is freezing. This is probably what's happening to you. So make sure you guys counter it. This is how. I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Yell at me in the comments, whatever it is you're feeling about it, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.